The NHL takes a break for the Olympic Games in Milan. When the Devils come back, they'll have 25 games left. They'll resume play on February 25th in a home game here against Buffalo. Unfortunately, Chico Resch, we were talking at the end of this game about, well, it's 1-1. Devils win in regulation versus winning in overtime because they wanted to get 2 points against the Islanders, move a little closer, and it just all turned around so quickly at the end, and now the Devils 11 points out of a playoff spot.
25 games left. Maddie, what do you think? They got to win 17 or 18 minimum, right? I mean, maybe even
maybe
that
20.
Maybe 20 to guarantee anything. And so this was a huge loss for New Jersey, and it wasn't from lack of effort, Matt. It was, again, the lack of touch around Islanders' net.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter if you can't score at times. We're not talking every game, 3 or 4 goals. We're not talking that. Just like, okay, a big game in Ottawa, 1 goal. You know, a big game against Columbus, no goals. Big game tonight, 1 goal. I've never seen in hockey a team getting where they want to go, scoring that little.
Just can't be done.
No, it can't.
I mean, even in the days when the Devils were a defense-oriented team in winning cups, and listen, they had Hall of Famers. It's not a comparison.
Yeah.
But even when they were defensive-oriented, they had a couple of years when they were at the top, not leading, but near the top at any rate in scoring. And even in the years when they weren't, they got to 2 or 3. That's all they needed to put a lock on many wins. And just, everyone is scratching their head. There's not one person in this building, fans, management, players, coaches, broadcasters, who saw this coming. And everyone has a bit of an answer, but it really is the guys. I mean, it's just the players. Somehow you got to find a way. We're looking at a highlight here that's being played back of Dawson Mercer on a breakaway, and he puts it off, the crossbar.
And I like the fact that he tried something. He tried to do toe drag and then go to his backhand. But there just has to be more consistency. And, we talked about it, folks. We know Jack Hughes' loss is far-reaching. It's not just him. It is him. But, like our power play, right? It would be functioning better. There'd be parts of the game that the Devils would be doing a lot better. So hopefully scoring goals. But at the same time, you don't have them. So is there nobody else? Like, I'm just saying, I know Timo Meier is trying. Maybe couldn't he bust loose for 2 or 3 or even Nico or Dawson Mercer or Jesper Bratt, just have a career night. Couple big 2 or 3 goals. And that's easy for me to say, and I'm not putting it on anyone. But the problem is it's been on no one. No one, Maddie, has gotten hot down this stretch. And that's really a problem. Well, it is because Devils lost 3 games.
Yeah, and it's puzzling how so many of the Devils players could drop off of big years. Nico Hischier, 35 goals last year, career high. He's got 19 this year. He'll lead, he leads the Devils in goals, but he won't get to 35. Jesper Bratt had 88 points last year. He won't get to 88 points this year. Timo Meier has dropped off. Dawson Mercer, the goal scoring has just disappeared.
What did he get early on, you said?
He had 8? He had 8 in the first 12.
12, yeah.
5 since.
Oh, that was exciting. When I thought, okay, this is going to be a breakout year for Dawson. He's going to get up around 30. Well, tonight he tried, but he missed.
Mm-hmm.
And who am I to say, Matt? All I know is if all these things take place that you're mentioning, if that happens, your team is not going to win a lot of hockey games, or not as many games as you hope to.
Yeah, and as many as you'll need. So the Devils lose by a score of 3-1. We're going to get some reaction from the Devils dressing room. Our content team there, led by Amanda Stein, along with other members of the media. And, of course, we'll hear from Sheldon Keefe. But first, let's check out some highlights of this one. The Devils allowed 2 count them, 2 shots in the first period. They had 6 on goal, a scoreless first, but might have been different, except that Emil Heinemann had one he wants back. To the blue line, long wrist shot off a stick in front, and then it's backhanded through the crease by Heinemann. Baby! Wide open net. Oh, baby is right, Mr. Resch. Well, it was wide open.
But didn't that give you hope? You're thinking, if the Islanders are going to miss those, Devils are going to take advantage, but I'll let you do the rest of your highlights.
Well, Mercer then had that breakaway that we talked about. Yeah. He didn't score, so we go into the second period. We're scoreless. The Devils only give up 5 shots in the second, 7 through 2, but this one got through. Breakaway by Mercer. Her shot went off the crossbar. Here's a redirect, kicked out. Rebound, the Islanders score. And it was just that quick. Jake Allen had the puck. He rimmed it around, but it was blocked along the far wall by Mark Gatcomb.
Yeah, but it's Cizikas. He's the one who's going to score. Man, he wipes out. He could have even hurt himself. He is down and out. And you're thinking, well, he can't get in the scoring play. He's down and out. But he gets up. He goes to the front of the net. Shots taken. Well, the rebound's right there. He's in the right spot. Half the net. Boom. Just shoots it in. I mean, you can't predict a play like that.
No, Gatcomb put it in front. Kyle McLean redirected on Allen, and you're right, Johnny on the spot. Casey on the spot with his 7th goal of the season at 6:30, and the Islanders had a 1-0 lead. Dougie Hamilton had a chance to tie. Now it's to Dadonov. Makes a move. He's in deep. He's behind the net. Plays it in front. Saved by Sorokin on Hamilton, who is coming down the center of the ice, and the puck is cleared. It wasn't the greatest scoring spot or opportunity, but there was Dougie Hamilton.
Oh, I know. And, you know, he is, right now, Matty, he is our go-to shooter, goal scorer on defense. I mean, every team has to have one defenseman they can kind of count on to get some pucks in the net. And I thought he's going to bury this one, but no.
And Jesper Bratt then made a move. There's a turnover, Bratt in Devo. Save made by Sorokin. And he made a brilliant move. But it was a more brilliant save.
Oh, well, you know what, Matty? Absolutely the best of the night. Because he's got it on, he's a left-handed shot. He faked to the left, went to his right. And I thought, who's got him? And he goes back to the right. But Sorokin, one thing about him, and I mentioned it on the Islander broadcast, he doesn't overplay it. He doesn't get sucked in to that first move. And, the other thing is, Matty, he's got good goalie sense. And then someone might say goalie sense. Goalies have no sense. Why are they even in net? They got no sense. But he does have good goalie sense, and he showed it there.
Picking up his 20th win of the season tonight and his 11th lifetime against the New Jersey Devils.
Wow.
Evgeny Dadonov had a shot off the post, so another near miss by the Devils, but that was late in the period. However, 19 seconds later, we had what we will call the play of the game, brought to you by Prudential, the Devils' official financial services partner. Here's the takeaway. It's Hischier for Bratt. Down low it goes. Backhand. No! It must have gone off the post. Dadonov with the chin. And now it's cleared. No icing as Allen fires it up ahead. When will the Devils get a break? It's Bratt for Hischier with the shot. He scores! There's the break. The Devils crack the seal and we're tied at 1.
Good call, Mr. Loughlin. And you know what else he said? You wouldn't remember, but just before you heard his voice, he talked about, that's Sorokin. He has the shutout record, and he had a shutout that time. So, Matty, I think you might have jinxed him. Not really. I don't believe in that. But you were talking about the shutout. Then the Devils go down and score. And, boy, the sun just came out. It looks bright in this arena. Let's go, Devils.
And that was the play of the game, brought to you by Prudential, the Devils' official financial services partner. Let's check in with the head coach.
The goaltender 4 times, but no goals to show for it off of those 4. Recipe's there. Guys did a good job, and it's not just tonight. I mean, it was last game as well. Like we've got to be able to do both sides. Right, but today was no shortage of offense, especially in that second period. I loved our last, call it 10 minutes of the second period. Like, that was everything that we want to be about, I thought. Finishing with Nico's goal. In lots of ways, I just thought, it's one of my favorite goals of the season, just because it was like shift after shift after shift of everybody really contributing and not letting them get through the neutral zone. We just kind of willed our way to that goal. So I thought our guys deserve better here tonight, but you got to make good on your chances if you're going to get rewarded. So it's tough to not get results. You need to get results. That's the bottom line. But it's hard not. It's hard to not accept the fact that the recipe's right there. We're doing like 7 shots after 2 periods here tonight. Is 5 shots after 30 minutes the last game. Like, the way we're feeling right now after not getting the results here this week, for me, it's less about how we performed in this week. It's more about how we performed over the course of the season, and that's the reality of it. But if we're just going to talk about tonight's game, I thought we deserved to win it.
What's your hope now with the long break? That the guys just going to clear their mind, reset, and try to, come back with
Yeah, I mean, the guys, get a break. Yeah, clear your mind, get some sun, come back refreshed, and for those that are going to go play in the Olympics, come back better players. That's it.
Sheldon, you had Nick Bukestad in the lineup for the first time. It looked like that fourth line was doing a lot of things that you like. What did you sort of see from that? And you were just talking about being able to roll line after line. How much did combination help?
I thought I thought they did a good job. I liked Bukestad's contributions to it. I thought Siplikov started to get better as the game went on. Cotter had a couple of good plays with the puck. It was a little harder to play them in the third period just because they started, we're obviously trying to score, and they were starting their fourth line in the defensive zone a lot, and I wanted to get our better players in those spots, so the matchups became tough, so lost them a little bit in the third, but wasn't because of their play. I thought they had done a nice job for us.
Your previous answer before, just about the way the game unfolded, was that sort of what you were talking about last postgame about needing guys to make plays and whether you're making good on?
Well, it was different. Like, I mean, last game we didn't make it up. We didn't generate anything. Yeah. We're just leaving so much offense on the table. Today, I don't think that was as much of an issue. I thought I talk about being alone on the goaltender 4 times. I'm not even including the Cotter one, which was the first one where he drove wide, takes it across the crease. So that would be 5 times, and alone on the goaltender. So that's, you got to get something to show for it, right? I mean, their top scorer gets it alone on Jake and he wins the game. That's kind of the difference. That's kind of where we're at, But it can't take away from the feeling. I mean, it sucks because you don't get the points. We need the points. We've needed the points for a long time, and that's what you're here for. You need to win the damn game. But as a coach, I'm going to go away. I'm going to step away and go into a break, and you're not going to tell me that how we've played in this last little bit. 7 shots tonight, 5 shots, halfway through the game. Like, the recipe's right there. Guys are buying in. We're working. We're right there. We've got some key people out, but today is a different story. Today we had the looks. I mean, it was more like a type of game we were playing when Jack was playing. We were getting all the looks. We were in alone on the goaltender. Hasn't fallen for us. It's been that type of year. But I thought we gave up a little too much in the third period once again tonight. But I thought the guys played hard. It's tough to not have them walk away rewarded here tonight, but that's the way it goes when you don't score.
Sheldon, I know you said that you want the guys to get refreshed and everything like that over break. Is there any message you gave them before they left, something that you want them to reflect on while they're on this break?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, my messaging was about tonight, Reality is, I mean, they're on break. I think already they've forgotten about hockey, which is the way that it should be. I mean, we got some guys who are already on their way to the airport. Like, I'm sure their team's the same. So that's kind of the way it goes. But the messaging was for us, like, we got to have a great effort here. We got to feel good about ourselves leaving. And I'm not so sure we got that, given we got the result, because we need the positive result. But like I said, when I step away from it, I think the guys did everything we wanted them to do here today, except put the puck over the line, and that's that's the next piece. It's the last piece. So many things that what's been going on with our team, I trace back to that. We got so many guys that if the puck starts falling for them and they execute and they score in these moments, they feel so much better about themselves, and so many other areas of our game get better as a result, and we've just been chasing it for too long. Good? Is that it? Okay, have a good break, everyone. Thanks.
And that's Sheldon Keefe live as he concludes his post-game news conference. And that's all it is. It's about scoring goals. If you score more than the other team, you feel good about yourself. It doesn't matter how well you played or if you played better tonight than you did on Tuesday. A loss is a loss is a loss.
It is, Matty. But if we're analyzing, and there's really just one analyzing point, did you win or not? But I can't say the Devils didn't outplay the Islanders. 7 shots against in 2 periods. I can't say they outplayed the Devils. They outscored them, but they didn't outplay them, and that's all there is. The mystery is, and nobody can say it or wants to say it, or whatever it is, whatever is happening, that unseen hand, that lack of luck, why New Jersey can't score. I mean, they had some great chances tonight, Matt, and missed. So I don't know. I'm not even going to try to figure it out because I'd just be guessing.
And because, as Sheldon Keefe said, you, like the players, we're on to the break. You kind of put it behind you. Now, here's a little bit of the good news, and we're going to hear from Nico Hischier and Jake Allen in just a moment. Luke Hughes has been skating as we look ahead, has been skating the last few days. The belief is and the hope is that he'll continue to rehab, and he could rejoin the team, at least for practice, and we'll see how much longer after that he might come back to the lineup. And Jack Hughes, he's that close day to day. If the Devils had a game on Saturday, maybe he'd be in it, but it is the Olympic break. We'll find out when he heads to Milan what his status is and whether he plays there. Hopefully he does. Hopefully he has a great run, and then he comes back. So those two might be back, and maybe they can help with the scoring, and if they can, the final 25 will at least be interesting.
Well, let's be honest, all you fans, this has been a very disappointing year, especially after the start and just grinding it down now. You talked about dragging yourself to the Olympic break. It's tremendously disappointing, okay? We agree with that. But I will also say, Matt, if the Devils come back and make the playoffs, folks, you are in for one of the most miraculous comebacks you've ever seen following a hockey team. And that's what they have to do. I don't want to hear this and that. Can they come back, start putting the puck in the net? We're all hopeful. But we will see. I'm not saying it couldn't. But you know what? They'll almost have to start out the way they did the season, right? Remember they went 8-1?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go for that because it's got to be something miraculous happening where they get back into the playoffs.
And at least score more goals and make it interesting. You want to win, but if you're going to lose, put 3 on the board, 4 on the board, and give your home fans something to cheer about and make it interesting on the road. We'll see what happens down the road, but let's check in with the captain, Nico Hischier.
Nico, I can obviously see the level of disappointment on your face to just sort of go out into this break with a loss like that again at the end of the game, sort of just things unraveling there.
It sucks. We're right there again, but too many times this season, it's very, very frustrating.
Is there something like that happened, or is it just sort of this repetitive
It's
thing?
one play that cost us the game.
Nico, you did a lot of right tonight, and obviously they had 14 shots. You guys have going to the net, and you're still not getting the results. I mean, you're scratching your head on like what it's going to take to turn this thing around.
It's always so frustrating. I think, like you said, we did a lot of good things to win this game, but at the end we come up short again, and should have just tried to get that overtime, and we've been good to see it in overtime and try to get the second point there. And yeah, it sucks to have that as our last game, but I mean, break is there to flush everything, and hopefully come back and everybody with a fresh mindset and re-attack. But definitely sucks right now.
Coach was talking about the other day that he needs guys to make plays. Do you feel like tonight you were being more aggressive as a team?
We had some good chances. We just didn't score in some of those chances again. And if we got maybe 1 or 2 more goals, we win the game. But we didn't. So it is what it is. It kind of sucks right now.
Nico, how valuable do you think that just sort of this break will be? Obviously, you guys have been through so many ups and downs this year. I know everyone's sort of going in different directions. You're going to the Olympics, but just to take a little bit of a breath.
I mean, it's big. Just step away a little bit, refresh your mindset, refresh your body. I think the schedule's been pretty tough for any team in this league so far. So I think break is for every team a good refresher.
You feel for Jake because obviously he didn't get the support maybe that he.
Yeah, we let him alone there at the end again, and we got to be better for him.
Nico, I think it's done you. If I told you before the season you'd have 25 games at this point with 1 or fewer goals, given what this team has offensively, talent-wise.
I mean, it is what it is. Would we like that? No. We're saying the right things. We're trying to work on scoring more, and sometimes they just don't go in, and that's what makes this whole thing even more frustrated for sure. And with, like you said, with the talent in here, we should be able to score more for sure.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, that's not the case, and you said it. You said that he would feel terrible about that face-off loss that led to the game-winning goal by Bo Horvat, and he even said it, one play. There wasn't a follow-up to talk about the play. He wanted to talk about the play, and I get it. I mean, he carries such a heavy load. He handles it well, but...
Well, how many games in sports do you see where you could really point to, if it's close, one play, and that's so not Nico. I mean, he didn't win it cleanly. He would have liked to. But then the extenuating circumstances. Kovacevic coming over. And then the poke check by Jake Allen. All things that you think could have nullified that play, Manny, but it didn't. And it just led to one thing after another, and then Horvat's got the 5-hole. He just slides the puck in. You can't write a script like this. You can't make it up, and they don't know why they can't score. They don't. You keep asking, well, why don't you think you can score? I don't know. Like tonight, he said, we made some really good plays, and they did. Now, I remember the first 4 shots they took were all blocked by the Islanders. Okay, that happened. But that's 4 shots right off the bat inside the circles that if they could at least get it on net, and they're trying. But honestly, Matty, in the past we've done games when the Devils, maybe 5 years ago, whatever, they just weren't very good. And you could say, okay, I understand that. But as he said, there's more skill in here than what we're seeing out on the ice in terms of goals, and he doesn't know why.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And so it was a 1-1 game until late, big face-off. Nico lost it, tried to kick at it. Johnny Kovacevic tried to get a piece of it. Instead, it wound up on the stick of Bo Horvat. He comes in. Poke check try by Jake Allen. 5-hole goal makes it 2-1. Matthew Barzal with the empty netter. The final score 3-1. So let's hear what Jake Allen's perspective was on it.
Jake, just at the end there, one play kind of ends up turning things over for you guys. Just you played a strong game, but same
good
old
enough.
Story.
Yeah. Not the way we wanted to end up going into break, so it's going to be a tough 3 weeks.
One of the things Nico said is that just the frustration really comes from the fact that it's the same things over and over again that keep happening. How do you sort of quantify that?
Probably just goes back to mental, a lot of it. It's generally what happens. It doesn't matter if it's our team or another team. Usually when you make mistakes, there's obviously a lot of variables in the game, but generally it's, a mental mistake. But, it happens, and, for the most part, we played a decent game.
Jake, you take me through Horvat's goal. How you saw it?
Nice goal. Beat my poke check, 5-hole.
I mean, you've been around a long time. You ever see something like this where you're getting shots, you're just not getting any goals?
That's hockey. You're going to go through stretches that way. The guys are trying. They're working their tails off. It's just not going our way right now. And, we can't take our foot off the gas, obviously. It's we're trying our best. The boys are putting all the effort in. It's just the puck's just not going in the net. And as a goalie, sometimes you feel like you fill up the whole net, and then sometimes feel small. And it's the same for players. It is what it is. They're putting all their effort and max they can, and it just hasn't been going our way. So hopefully that'll turn after the break.
Now you're 11 points back with 25 games to go. I mean, is there a point where it becomes too big of a margin to make up? Even?
I mean, you can't think that way. And here, it's just we need to have a certain standard of the way we approach the day, regardless of our situation. But obviously, we understand that over these 3 weeks, we'll have a lot of time to reflect on a lot of different things. And we got to go on a hell of a run. Basically, that's what it comes down to. So, but it's going to get a time to decompress and. We get the guys that we can do it. It's just a little bit of belief and a little bit of recovery, and hopefully some guys come back from the Olympics with some medals and keep going.
Thank you, Jake.
Yeah.
Have a good break.
Devils' backs against the wall. They'll have 25 when they come back. You played that position. He's just trying to surprise Barzal. He's saying he's not expecting a poke check, but once he misses it.
No, exactly. Like Nico's chasing him. Kovacevic is diving, and he's usually pretty good with that aggressiveness. But there if you could think again, he'd say, I didn't know that back pressure was coming, so I'm just going to stay tight. Horvath, he can't get it up. He can't go around me. And so he tried that one sneaky little poke check. But the other thing is, Matty, again, I said it, if you're the goalie and you go into the game thinking, okay, I got to get a shutout for us to win. Okay, maybe one goal. That's a lot of pressure night after night. If you could say, look, I can give up 2, play great. I know my team will find a way to get at least 3. Okay, then you're feeling good. But I don't think anybody feels like, Matty, they have the magic, and he mentioned it. I don't think anybody in that Devils team right now thinks they have the magic to find a way to win. And that's something they're going to really have to work on come after the Olympic break. They got to have more belief, but it's not easy.
And the belief will come with the results, and we'll see what happens when play resumes on February 25th. The Devils playing Buffalo here at Prudential Center. Enjoy the Olympic break with you and your fair wife, Diane.
Thank you, and you and Maggie and all the fans. Deep breath. I know you're frustrated out there, fans, and I don't blame you. You're coming in the snow and the terrible traffic here. And you're paying money, and you're coming with enthusiasm. And like Maddie and I always say, if they had lost 4-3, I would have sooner seen that than 2-1 because there's no goal scoring. But, if you've been around hockey, it dries up, and then it can explode, and we're hoping for an explosion after the Olympic break.
And that will take place on the 25th when the Buffalo Sabres come to Prudential Center. That's a game you'll hear here on the Devils Hockey Network.